Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day, a brand new day, a sunny day. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Oh yeah. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. But that's okay, because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. So if you don't like the weather, don't worry. It's not the end. It's not the end. If you don't like the government, it's all right. It's not the end. It's not the end. This is the end.
I am here, Creator, good of all, Creator, good of all, Creator, good of all. I'm here, of all, Creator, good of. For the greater, you are for the greater good of, the greater all. We are here, Creator, good of all, Creator, good of all, Creator, good of all. We're here. Good of all. I am here, good of all, good of all, of all. For the great good of all. You are for the greater good of all, greater good of all, greater good of all. You are here, good of all, good of all. For the greater, we are the greater good of all, greater good, greater good, greater.
I was always rushing everywhere, going from town to town, playing my music, living my dream, when suddenly the world shut down. The virus hit us just like that. I didn't know what I'd do, but I quickly found out love and kindness was gonna get me through. Love and kindness, hearts that give. This is what guides us, the best way we can live. Things won't be this way forever. Let's stay strong and hold it together with love and kindness each and every day. So many of us have been hurting, so many of us are unsure. Will we ever go back to normal? Will they ever find a cure? I thank God each day that I wake up that my loved ones are still here. I have faith and I have hope. I won't be ruled by fear. I choose love and kindness, hearts that give. This is what guides us, the best way we can live. Things won't be this way forever. Let's stay strong and hold it together with love and kindness each and every day. This all happened for a reason, there's no doubt in my mind. This is the changing season we must leave our ways behind. I believe in love and kindness, hearts that give. This is what guides us, the best way we can live. Things won't be this way forever. Let's stay strong and hold it together with love and kindness each and every day. Love and kindness each and every day.
Wide open, fly, oh, oh, oh. He's riding, letting go, and oh, oh, ready, ready to shine. On purpose, the red, whoa, oh, so, oh, so. So we go in it like the world of everything was meant to try so hard. So he won another trip, but things are always the different one. Ready, ready to shine. Our purpose, the rainbow. Oh, so reach down and up to the one and only truth. My soul is open.
am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. So what does that mean for you sitting at home on a Sunday morning or a Sunday afternoon or perhaps on YouTube at some other designated wonderful time? We have 10 different faith perspectives. We have 10 different musical artists or acts. We give each of those groups a single word topic at the beginning of a series. They all come back with their parts, the musicians, 2 videos, the speakers, a 25 to 30 minute talk on the subject from their faith perspective. Becky and I say hello and goodbye, and we send it all to Philip and his magical team. And they poof it into the wonder that you're enjoying right now.
Into reality.
Yes. So you can join us in this crazy, wonderful, beautiful endeavor at www.peopleofdiversity.org. Hit the donate button and move as your heart takes you, whether it be an offering, a donation, a tithe, whatever word works for you. United in Thanksgiving. What a beautiful event.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Yeah.
What was your favoriteest part, like I didn't know?
I got to sing in the choir. That was fun. All the talks were really, really good and heartfelt and heartwarming. There was a huge crowd, and afterwards went to the reception hall and shared food from all over the place, and it was just a beautiful evening. Really nice. Interfaith United did an amazing job putting it together and orchestrating it. I think this is probably the seventh one. Yeah. And
I think Rabbi Pat said 2017 in her talk.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So just really, really good, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
So I got what I wanted, which was Isa to bring Hannah and their baby a little closer to the stage and introduce them to the world as who they are and the wonders of that healing. His words were especially powerful, not to take away from what Muhammad shared, those deep stories of family, and Rabbi Pat as well. I felt like his words to his daughter were so incredibly impactful. They just were what it was all about and why we were there and what we're doing there as people of diversity was that kind of awareness and healing. So it was an amazing event. Catch it on both of the People of Diversity page and group. I have not yet figured out how to get it transferred over to our YouTube page, but as soon as I do, I will. So it'll be available there as well. I think that's an important addition to what we're offering there as well. And if you have the opportunity, go to Interfaith Brevard, Florida YouTube page, and you can get the 2023 YouTube edition for United in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think the overall message of it, what everybody in one way or another spoke to, was it's up to every individual to be a light, and if we're going to have peace in the world, it's got to start with every single individual, and to be loving and peaceful toward every other individual, and that will eventually make its way to peace on earth. So.
Well, and I think they even took it one step further. A lot of them talked about acting on that be a light. It's not just send light. It's like show up, do something, be a light, then send light. right? It's
yeah.
like, yeah,
He was great.
yeah. Bring food while you pray for the homeless, right? It's
Right.
like bring food while you do it.
Right.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
All right. So last week we had our Muslim representative, Naran Sykes, speaking on ceremony, and it was very interesting. I learned a lot. And
Wasn't it interesting that he spoke of that very prayer that she spoke about that he did with his child?
yes,
That
that's
was
right.
the-
That was the
yes.
same prayer.
Yes, it
So
was.
that's a ceremony,
Mhm.
a Muslim ceremony. So yeah. And Naran's musical guest was Daniel Capel. Today we have our Baha'i representative, Dean Martineau, who also sang in the choir last night. And his musical guests are Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer. Next week we will have shaman Jerry Nedesheim with Donna Frost. That's a good
Yeah, that'll be
combination.
a good
Yeah,
one.
that's good. And everyone's speaking on ceremony. So past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook page, Facebook group, also on our People of Diversity YouTube channel, where you can use the playlist function. Makes it real easy to either search on topics that you want to see talks on, or search on specific faiths that you want to see talks by. So go to the YouTube channel. That playlist function is really cool.
If you subscribe to that YouTube channel as well, you can interact on Sunday morning in the live chat, because it's a premiere on YouTube Sunday morning as well.
Right. So from 11:45 until 12:15, following the morning service, we do a live Zoom deep dive, and the link to that is it's on the screen, and it's also in the event, so you can get on that. We talk to the speaker when they can come, and Dean usually comes, so he'll probably be there this week. Talk to the speaker, we can ask questions, just discuss it amongst ourselves, check in, it's fun. And then on Facebook, not on YouTube, but on Facebook, we rebroadcast the Sunday morning service at 5:45 in the evening, so you can watch it again or send someone else back to see it. So
Excuse me.
that's all right. And you can get Facebook notifications, which makes it really easy to just push the button and get get right into the service on by joining the People of Diversity Facebook group or page. And if you wait until 10:30, you'll get a little bing, and you can push that, and it'll take you straight to the service. So each week we bless a country. Next week is North Macedonia. So if you know anything about North Macedonia, which I don't, send it to the email address below, and we'll use it in our country blessing. This week we are blessing Nigeria. Nigeria is located on the western coast of Africa on the Gulf of Guinea. It's about the size of California, Nevada, and Utah combined, so pretty decent size. And there are almost 224 million people. Their religious makeup is interesting. They're 50% Muslim, 15% Protestant, 14% Roman Catholic, and 20% Independent Christian. Yeah, so about
Sounds like 50-50 to me.
yeah,
but
half and
what do
half,
I know?
right? Half and half. So they have 250 different ethnic groups in Nigeria, making it the most diverse country in Africa. English is the official language, but there are over 500 indigenous languages spoken, so extremely diverse. Extremely diverse. Down just a little bit. Thank you. Because of their oil and natural gas reserves, Nigeria is the richest country in Africa. They produce 2.5 million barrels of crude oil every day. That's crazy.
That's too much.
Yeah. On the other side of that, about 14% of their total land area is protected from development and mining. There are over 1,000 species of butterflies in Nigeria, more than I think any place else in the world. Now, in our culture and a lot of Western cultures, when you meet somebody, you look into their eyes, and that is considered to be respectful. When you look at somebody when you're talking to them, if you look directly into someone's eyes in Nigeria, it's considered to be aggressive. So if you go there, don't do that. And our last fact is, in the United States, Nigerians are the most educated immigrant community. About 60% of Nigerians here have college degrees, which is double the American national average of 30%. So when Nigerians immigrate here, they come with a purpose, and they go to school, and they really want to make better lives for themselves. I thought that was a really interesting fact. So let's hold the people of Nigeria in our hearts. Let's pray for peace. One of the things they said with so many different ethnic groups and such a wide variety of religions, that a lot of times there's strife associated with that. So let's pray for peace. Let's pray for comfort and abundance. And we hold them in our hearts, and we say these words together. May peace prevail in Nigeria. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Thank you.
All right, 2 introductions. Bob Simon and Shannon Plummer will give us 2 amazing songs from Rockledge, Florida, from their open air studio in their living room. And we will hear from Dean from his cool reception room with a beautiful open air window behind him, bringing us the message from the Baha'i. So without further ado, we'll dive right in.
No one is looking. I swallow deserts and clouds, and I chew on mountains, 'cause I know they are sweet bones. No one is looking. I sip from the cool summer sky, and I savor the blue of it, and it colors my eyes. No one is looking. I wanna kiss God. No one is looking. So I lift up my own hand to my mouth. No one is looking. I call forth the thunder and the rain, and I lasso the sunshine, and it warms the blood in my veins. I talk with the flowers and the trees, and I tell them my secrets, and they listen to me. When no one is looking at me, what is looking through me can see, and I feel everything it feels me when I'm all alone in my own sweet home. I can hear the silence calling me home. I blow off the dust from the Milky Way, and I polish off the stars, 'cause the dust on my fingers is my own. No one is looking. Yeah, I paint smiles on faces with frowns, and I swipe a little lift from a joyful child holding my hand. No one is looking. I breathe in with you, and I feel sweet relief. everything presents itself just as it is. And when you slow down, let it all happen. Something fantastic, magic happens in you. And when you breathe in, it's like we're all listening to an echoing of our own souls. And when you breathe out, it's just like a rain cloud. Relief it comes pouring down on a thirsty world. Meditation is the medication to cure the illusion of separation. Meditation is the medication to cure the illusion of a separation. A separation. Into a mind that's still becomes a cup that's filled with effervescence, ever presence, and a heart that swells. And when you drink from this, it's a never-ending peacefulness. Don't have to believe in this. It's a story that tells it. Say
I charge you all that each one of you concentrate all the thoughts of your heart on love and unity. When a thought of war comes, oppose it by a stronger thought of peace. A thought of hatred must be destroyed by a more powerful thought of love. Thoughts of war bring destruction to all harmony, well-being, restfulness, and content. Thoughts of love are constructive of brotherhood, peace, friendship, and happiness. When soldiers of the world draw their swords to kill, soldiers of God clasp each other's hands. So may all the savagery of man disappear by the mercy of God, working through the pure in heart and the sincere of soul. Do not think the peace of the world an ideal impossible to attain. Nothing is impossible to the divine benevolence of God. If you desire with all your heart friendship with every race on earth, your thought, spiritual and positive, will spread. It will become the desire of others, growing stronger and stronger until it reaches the minds of all men. Do not despair. Work steadily. Sincerity and love will conquer hate. How many seemingly impossible events are coming to pass in these days? Set your faces steadily towards the light of the world. Show love to all. Love is the breath of the Holy Spirit in the heart of man. Take courage. God never forsakes his children who strive and work and pray. Let your hearts be filled with the strenuous desire that tranquility and harmony may encircle all this warring world. So will success crown your efforts, and with the universal brotherhood will come the kingdom of God in peace and goodwill.
I thought it was very appropriate to begin this program with those timeless words of Abdul Baha, taken from one of the collections of his talks called Paris Talks. We are, as we often going to talk about him a lot more later on during this program, but I want to welcome you and glad you've come to talk about how the Baha'i faith manifests ceremony and perhaps ritual, because that's kind of the approach I'm taking in thought and activities. I want to take a look and compare how we in modern American society handle holy days, whether they be religious or patriotic. We don't really tend to call them holy days. In the Baha'i faith, we do refer to them as holy days, and also a bit about marriages and funerals. So in general, if we look at these events, they're pretty much done the same way all the time. There's not an awful lot of variance. So weddings tend to be very materialistic, there's variations within the individual ceremony, obviously, but these days, at least the publicized ones and the ones people tend to aspire to, are very materialistic, very large, very lavish, and that seems to be the direction that things are going. In terms of our holy days, so looking at what do we have? We have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, we have Easter, we have Memorial Day and the 4th of July. Those are probably the major days that the country celebrates, or large portions of it celebrate together. And again, in all those cases, one year pretty much looks like another. However you and your local population, your local family, or your local community celebrate one year is going to probably be pretty much the same way you do it another year. And in the case of Christmas and Thanksgiving, well, in all the cases of all these, we tend to get together with our nuclear family and friends and eat. And there's a lot of materialism involved in terms of the gift giving occasions, the amount of food that is consumed, the amount of stuff that is purchased on the occasion of the day, the amount of sales that are offered and presented on the occasions of those days. All of these things tend to go on. We might, for the patriotic days, we might have a parade. We might shoot off fireworks. And for all of them, an awful lot of alcohol is consumed. Well, let's now contrast this with how we look upon these matters in terms of the Baha'i faith. And we're going to talk about an upcoming holy day in the Baha'i community in just a few minutes. The first thing you notice is that there's really not a lot of guidance about how to celebrate holy days. Really, it's very open-ended. They are to be perhaps somber, perhaps joyful, depending on the date. If we're talking about the martyrdom of the Bab and the passing, the ascension of Baha'u'llah and Abdul-Baha, those might be more somber commemorations. Others are going to be more celebratory, perhaps. And how we commemorate is going to be really very different from community to community, and those divergences are going to increase as the communities increase in diversity. So here in little old Melbourne, Florida, when we celebrate the Day of the Covenant, which is the holy day I'm going to talk about, probably we're going to get together and eat and just commemorate with some readings and some music. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's an awful lot more that can be done. We are encouraged to commemorate these days to engage in philanthropic acts. We are engaged to launch charitable pursuits. We are engaged to obviously visit the sick, assist the disabled, assist those who are in need. All of these things, whether they be individual acts or community acts to benefit all of these populations, are encouraged to be done on holy days. And how it looks is going to differ as the community grows and diversifies. So perhaps in the future, besides doing what I described, where we will get together and share a meal and discuss the day and have some appropriate readings and music and videos and art, all of these activities for charitable and philanthropic purposes might penetrate the day, might be the primary event of the day. The community might prepare for this for some time, and then when the holy day arrives, they are prepared to unveil or conduct whatever this act is, and it's not going to look the same from one year to the next. In the case of talking about weddings and funerals, it is encouraged that weddings be very simple. There is a wedding vow, which is stated that the bride and groom say to each other, we will all verily abide by the will of God. That's the only part of a marriage that is necessary. Anything else over and above that is added, and it is encouraged that it be kept very simple. In the case of funerals, there is a somewhat lengthy prayer that is recited, and we say it's recited in congregation, which is misleading. That's an Islamic term. When it's recited in congregation, that means one person recites the prayer while others stand, assuming they can stand, and remain silent. But other ceremonies, other rituals, other rites that might have developed around these activities, there's nothing requiring people to have or use wedding rings. There's nothing requiring, in fact, all these different roles of the weddings, the best man and all these roles people have in their weddings are not encouraged. They can be done. There's no prohibition against them, but they are not encouraged. So we have really the ceremonies that are called upon by Baha'u'llah, which are very few, and other ceremonies, other aspects of these events can be added on, but they're not. But the idea is to keep them simple and to commemorate the day. In the case of Thanksgiving and Christmas, I would say the majority of Americans don't really commemorate those days in terms of any real basis for which those days were created. And there's, of course, a lot of problems with both of those days because they both are really not real in terms of how they were created. The story of Thanksgiving that we've been told, that we grew up going to school with, has many inaccuracies, and that puts it mildly, and doesn't take into account cultural meanings and historical effects of those events for other peoples. Christmas, besides the fact that it didn't really take place in December, if Christ's birth did not take place then, it's pretty much acknowledged. All the trappings that we have surrounded this day with have all been added on by different peoples in different places. They have nothing really to do with commemorating the holy day of the birth of Christ. There's a real contrast there with the holy days in the Baha'i faith. Okay, so let's talk now about the Day of the Covenant. The Day of the Covenant is coming up here on November 26th, and there will be a small observance of it on the night before, reason being that the Baha'i day starts and ends at sunset. So after sunset on the 25th becomes the 26th, and that's when we're going to commemorate it in Melbourne. Other people will commemorate at other times. Abdu'l-Baha, we've talked about him a lot. We'll talk about him again. He's the example of a perfect Baha'i life. He is the center of the covenant, which is meaningful for this day we're about to discuss. Was born on the night of the declaration of the Bab, the night when the Baha'i faith began. So as a result, he forbade the believers to commemorate his birthday, much as they wanted to. And so what he said was, okay, I'll give you a day to commemorate regarding me. And he described the Day of the Covenant because he is the center of the covenant. The most distinct feature of the Baha'i faith is that for the first time in religious history, the founder of the faith appointed a successor. So Baha'u'llah, before he passed on, appointed Abdu'l-Baha as his successor. Basically, if you turn to Abdu'l-Baha, you're a believer, and if you don't, you aren't, is in black and white terms. As a result of that, the fate that has befallen all other major organized religions, which is to break up into many, many hundreds and thousands of sects, did not and will not befall the Baha'i faith. The Baha'i faith will always be unified because of this covenant. And Abdu'l-Baha is the center of the covenant. So he said to the believers that they could indeed celebrate this day, the Day of the Covenant, which the Baha'is basically came up with a day which is as far across the calendar as you can get from the day when Baha'u'llah ascended. So it happens to fall in November. And that is the Day of the Covenant. So we would commemorate it with as much zeal as we would commemorate the birthday of Abdu'l-Baha, but it isn't. It's the Day of the Covenant. We commemorate the wonder of the covenant. And at this point, we're going to have a song about the covenant, which has the lyrics and I think is a very significant piece.
center of the moon. He came into this world on the King of Days, not a moment too soon. All the spirit of faith contained in him, like a vessel he encompassed the word. The ark on the water through stormy seas, he sails on unperturbed. He wore the holy armor, the holy one from the east. In the soul of the world he built a fire, and I'm burning away in its heat. Oh, the promise is made with creation, a covenant for all humankind, a fortress of strength for my wandering heart. To its magnet of love I will bind. And then he holds out his hand, he's doing his part. The promise of ages past, and I'm drawn like a cord to the covenant. Oh, I cling to the hem of his garment. The pure and stainless mirror in the station of servitude, pivot of oneness in a fractured world, born of the ancient root. In the tablet of the branch she named you, the appointed one to shepherd the herd, perfect exemplar to guide the way, interpreter of his word. And then he holds out his hand, he's doing his part. The promise of ages past, and I'm drawn like a cord to the covenant. Oh, I cling to the hem of his garment. Be thou so steadfast in my love, that thy heart shall not waver, even if the heavens and earth arise against thee. Be thou as a flame of fire and a river of life eternal, and be not shaken, for I am with you always, as ye have faith, so shall your powers and blessings be.
Abdu'l-Baha is truly a wondrous and unique figure in religious history, and we're going to end in a minute with a song commemorating his attributes and values. Besides being the center of the covenant and the one who carried the Baha'i faith forward and out of obscurity and across the world by his own travels as an old and sick man, he is the perfect example of how a Baha'i should be, the only person who will ever be as perfect as he is. And as such, we have a beacon, we have an example of how to live our lives that we can always strive to emulate, thanks to the anecdotes of his life, the things that he stated in his writings and talks. We have a goal, we have an ever living, even though he's not physically alive on this planet, example of how to live our lives. So it's really worth, for anyone interested in faith and religion, pondering and digging into the example of Abdu'l-Baha. And we commemorate him actually twice here in November, one being the Day of the Covenant that I mentioned, and a couple days after that we do commemorate his passing in 1921. So I'm going to leave you with this song that I enjoy, this song musically, about the photograph. And I will talk to those of you who are there on the deep dive if that works out technically. So thank you very much for listening in.
The photograph I see comes alive so easily and tells me of a life that was so pure.
He would never turn away from anyone, and the love in his eyes is so real. He suffered all his life to show us how to be free. He could always love his enemy. And through the worst of trials, he could always smile and lift the heart of every friend up so high. Abdu'l-Baha was his name, and Abdu'l-Baha was his life. Abdu'l-Baha was his aim. His whole life was sacrifice. Abdu'l-Baha, Abdu'l-Baha.
He could take the hand of a sad and lonely man and wash away his fear for a while.
He could understand the secrets we defend and make it feel that living was worthwhile. Abdu'l-Baha was his name, and Abdu'l-Baha was his life. Abdu'l-Baha was his aim. His whole life was sacrifice. Abdu'l-Baha. And anytime you feel bruised at heart, remember his glorious smile. Call to mind the promise he made.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Shannon. Amazing as build. Thank you so much for your constant support of the pod and what we're trying to do here and what we're trying to create. We're real grateful. Mr. Dean Martineau, thank you for all that you do, not only in your community but out in the world, stretching the word of the people of the Baha'i, and also just making a difference in the world, man. Thank you for all that you do. You're just a really groovy guy. Thank you. Philip and team, thank you for all that you do, taking the craziness and editing it down to something that's streamlined and beautiful and poofy, and thank you for all that you do. If you need help in the audiovisual in virtual land or in real life, see Philip and his team and they will take care of you. Following the morning service from 11:45 to 12:15, we do a deep dive. We keep it pretty tight to 12:15 so as not to dive into your day. But it does allow us a chance to talk with the speaker when they come, and when they don't, we just bang it around amongst ourselves. What did we hear? What did we learn? What did we discover? Dean usually comes and visits with us, so we can look forward to seeing him. If you missed the morning and you'd like to catch the afternoon, or you missed it all together and Sunday just wasn't your day, it's this evening 5:45 broadcast on Facebook that we pin to the top of the page and to the group so that you can come back and view it at another time. We also have the YouTube page now that premiere broadcast in the morning is available the next day for your viewing on YouTube, as is everything over the last 3 years, in playlist by faith or by topic for you to search or research as you desire. That's all I know. No. Next week.
Shaman Jerry Nettesheim.
And
Donna Frost.
Miss Donna Frost,
yeah.
from the really groovy mountains. In her backyard, it will be beautiful.
Oh yeah, should be really pretty.
And Jerry will teach us things. It will be very cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to you.
Thank you. Go to www.peopleofdiversity.org, and if you want to join the pod in a very material way, we appreciate it. We pay all of our speakers, we pay our musicians, we pay our tech team. So every bit that gets donated is helpful, and we appreciate it immensely. So let's just take a minute, take a breath. Thank you, Spirit. In this time of gratitude and hope, we are so grateful for everything that the pod is and does and accomplishes, and all the light and love that we send out into the world. And we are also so grateful for the light and the love that comes back and helps us to keep this circle going. And we are so grateful, and we say amen. Okay, let's do our healing circle. Bring to your mind's eye any situation, any purpose, well, purpose too, that's good, fair. Person, situation, whatever, place in the world that needs extra healing and love, and bring them to the center of our circle. We're going to join our energy together and listen to this last song and just heal, send that energy and heal, and open up, get a little on yourself, and we will see you next week, or at the deep dive, or on the evening broadcast, whenever. We'll look forward to it. Y'all take care.
See you soon.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. one power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of